you guys enjoy your whatever that is.
All right. Test.
Yes.
One thing that's come back around recently here, guys, is another congressional UFO hearing. So again, we're shooting this on Thursday the 14th. This was just
Happened yesterday.
Yesterday, yes.
Was it yesterday?
So the House Oversight yes, yeah, just Wednesday. The House Oversight Committee Joint Subcommittee hearing was called an unidentified anomalous phenomena, exposing the truth. So the hearing was aimed to, quote, further pull back the curtain on secret UAP research programs conducted by the U.S. government and undisclosed findings that they have yielded. So the four witnesses were, and these are people with credentials.
Yeah. Yep.
So it's a retired U.S. Navy Rear Admiral Tim, is it Gallaudet?
Gallaudet.
Former Deputy of Defense official Luis Elizondo.
Yep.
NASA UAP Independent Study Team member Michael Gold and journalist Michael Schellenberger.
Yeah,
And you go in and read some of their testimonials. It's very interesting. I mean, they tend to stay away from saying something is alien, but there's a lot of testimony in that there's definitely technology that's advanced out there that people.
It's not ours.
It's not ours. They can't explain it, and some believe that this technology may already be in possession by other countries as well, or other type of technology, advanced technology that they may be using or try to understand or whatever. So did you see any of this? Did you read about any of this? What are your thoughts on this hearing? Tim, why don't we start with you?
Yes, please,
I haven't
Tim.
watched the hearings, but I did read some excerpts. I'm gonna take some time to watch the hearings. But what I gathered from what I've read is really just these guys saying the United States has a secret UAP retrieval program, and they are reverse engineering these retrieved craft. We've known that. Everybody knows that. Why this popped up was because of what Arrow did earlier this year. I think it was in June. They put out a report saying that there is no credible evidence that these are extraterrestrial. This is extraterrestrial. I sent you guys a video of the jellyfish UAP or UFO. When I first saw this back in January, so this leaked out in January, I dismissed it because I thought I was watching Empire Strikes Back and the probes on Hoth, because that's what it looked like.
Sure. Exactly what it looked like.
Gen X Brian here from the Convincing Idiots podcast. If you're enjoying our show, tell a friend. And if you're not, well, tell two enemies.
I've later come to understand that this was an actual real event. People leaked.
No CGI. No,
I thought maybe there was some CGI there, but there's some credible people that have come that are they won't give their names. They're staying off. As a matter of fact, you'll see part of this George Knapp talking to people that saw this video, and there's more to it that's not been leaked. So I'm still on. When you look at this video, I encourage everyone to look at the jellyfish UFO or UAP. Google it. The thing that you see is that this thing is moving with no apparent propulsion. The other thing, you'll see two people that are walking on a path or a road. Now, I believe this was in Iraq. They're walking on a road. They don't see it. It's only seen by the camera in this infrared.
Really?
Yes. So that's what's weird about this. I'll also sent you the Tic Tac video for you guys to look at. Because Commander Fravor,
Is that the video of Brian P?
Yeah.
Tic Tac. Yeah, funny.
So, Commander Fravor, he gave testimony last year talking about how this thing maneuvered. And the thing that caught my attention from that was they couldn't lock onto it with targeting radar. So the video was passive targeting. So he just kept it in the thing, but he lost sight of it. And then a minute later, he was notified by the air traffic control that the bogey was 60 miles behind him. So it moved 60 miles in 1 minute. That's 3,600 miles an hour. So that's roughly Mach 5. It's hypersonic.
That's pretty
fast. If you were sitting in a plane that went hypersonic in a second, you would be crushed by the inertia.
Sure.
So there's a lot of credible things out there. I don't trust this arrow. It came out of it's the All Domain Anomaly Resolution Office. This is just, in my opinion, this is just a mouthpiece for the Pentagon to tell everybody there's nothing to see here, move along. And that's what they want Congress to do. That's what they want everybody else to do. Now, there's something in our skies. There was
now, real quick, Tim. Since you haven't been on in a year, let's remind people, very briefly, remind people, your background and why, when you say, in my opinion, you're holding a little bit of weight here.
I'm an astrophysicist. I retired from as a civilian Air Force. I worked at the National Air and Space Intelligence Center for 12 years as a government employee and six or 7 years as a defense contractor. So I have 24 years experience in the intelligence community. So that's why I give my opinion.
And it's fair to say that you've seen videos that other people haven't.
I saw the Tic Tac video before it was declassified.
Okay, there we go. Okay, so you were briefed on certain things in your time.
I'm not kind of, yeah. You have to understand there's a stigma to reporting these things. It's actually opened up. They want the pilots to report. Yep. They want the military to report. They want individuals to report. The problem is Arrow doesn't want to take it seriously. They don't want people asking questions. They don't want Congress asking questions. That's why I was a little surprised by this subcommittee hearing. Because they just popped that up like that and said, we got more people. So they're bringing credible people in to say this stuff. While at the same time, it just reminds me of the Naked Gun on TV when, the guy he's standing there with a megaphone over a dead body telling everybody there's nothing to see here, move along. That's what the Pentagon...
Explosions in the background.
All that that's what the Pentagon's doing. We have shit flying with impunity in our skies. We've shot, from what I understand, we've shot some down. They call them balloons. I have yet to see a spy balloon that did what that Chinese balloon did. And the fact that we let it fly over the country, that just something's just not sitting right. I don't know. The Pentagon, of course, you want to keep your secrets secret.
Smell test.
But it's at the point now people are seeing stuff in the sky. We're getting video. I wish we would get really good, not grainy or shaky video. That's why I wanted to come on and tell you what to do if you see a UAP. That way you
go ahead.
Okay, so first, if you're driving, pull off to a safe spot. Get out of your car. All right. Don't try to follow the UAP with your phone. Let it cross through the aperture, then move your phone. Because if you don't have trees or anything on the horizon, you can't tell if it's moving because you're moving with the phone. So the other thing, there are places you can report what you see. Mark the time of day, the weather condition, temperature, if you know it. If it was a humid day, not humid, cold, hot, you want any information you can gather about what you're seeing, where you're seeing it, is very important. That way it can be tracked. You could actually, if you have this information, you could put it on Google Earth and start plotting where these things are. So the key thing to this is you want to get credible video, credible images, but you want to be safe doing it. People that are driving their car filming these things, it's going to cause a wreck, kill somebody. So you pull off somewhere safe, get away from your car, because people see you looking at stuff up in the sky, they're going to hit you, because people are idiots. But these are the things you have to do.
You can't make an omelet.
You can't make an omelet without breaking an egg?
Yeah, I mean, so people crash. I mean, we need to see these UFOs.
We need an answer.
Forget what he said. I need you all to take your both hands off. Make sure, because I want the camera steady. Take your hands off the wheel and put it up there.
Yeah.
And make sure you really
drive with your knee. That's the best thing to do. Hold the camera up, drive with your knee.
I do that all the time.
And down the ramparts, charge through everybody.
Because I need two hands to masturbate.
But this.
Do you think there's?
No, go ahead.
Tim, sorry.
You go ahead.
No, just with the hearing. Do you think that there's strategy in having a hearing like this because there's information that will continue to come out, but there, a lot of people are very entrenched with the election and results, and then they have this hearing kind of pops up on a Wednesday afternoon. It doesn't necessarily get tons of news. I mean, this stuff is. I mean, if you imagine that. If this was like the main news story, I mean, you would think it would get a lot more attention than what it is. So do you think there's some strategy with this?
20 years ago, it would blow people's minds.
Absolutely.
I don't know if there's a strategy to this or not, other than to keep it covered up. But there's one thing you can take from this.
Yeah.
Well, congressional hearings about it isn't doing a very good job at covering things out.
But the thing is, these congressional hearings are non-classified. And whenever they want information, they say, well, we need to go into a closed session, into a SCIF. That's a special compartment and information facility. Well, some of these people that are testifying aren't cleared to go into a SCIF. So if somebody doesn't have a security clearance to go in there, that's no longer a SCIF, and you can't have a classified discussion. But at the same time, something you should take from this is, we're a divided country. We're divided along political lines, but this is bipartisan. These hearings are bipartisan. Both Democrats and Republicans, liberals and conservatives, are behind this, and they want the transparency. They want the Pentagon to start telling people what's going on. They think that's happening. Which, I don't know if you remember Ronald Reagan when he talked at the Union, said the only way you're going to get the world to unite is to have an alien invasion. Well, here we're looking at things that we don't know what the technology is, and lo and behold, you have bipartisan cooperation trying to get the information out. And I will pose a question.
What do you think?
No, go ahead.
Go ahead. Well, I was just curious what you just said there. That we don't know what it is. Do enough people or enough departments in the government know what these are enough not to freak out and just start shooting them? I mean, they've shot a couple down, but is there enough people to go, well, we know what that is, but we can't just say it?
I honestly don't.
In your opinion?
In my opinion, we have an idea of what they are. But
so you don't believe in like the Eisenhower story?
Well,
that Eisenhower met with
I still know. I can't. I can either. I can't really. I don't know, because I've only heard that through conspiracy theorists. I've never seen documentation of it.
Sure.
But I do know this: 1947, we had a crash. There was a crash. When things are classified, they're classified on a timeline. Back in that time, it was usually a 70-year classification date. It's been 77 years. Roswell, New Mexico, that crash site is still classified. So either it is a crash site, it was a UFO that crashed, or we were experimenting with a technology that's still relevant today that we don't want enemies to know that was there and something went drastically wrong. That's so. I don't. What we see with the technology is being used by these UAPs, that jellyfish UFO, that's technology we can't even fathom. The propulsion, you don't see any means of propulsion, so it's got to be a field propulsion system. It's setting up some kind of field that it can defy gravity and move. That's the only logical explanation that I can see. But the thing is, they're right. I don't like the unidentified anomalous phenomenon. It's not anomalous. It's aerial. But you also have USOs, which is underwater, unidentified submersible objects. These things are coming up out of the water, and there's all kinds of stories, especially in Brazil, which you'll see when you watch Investigation Alien.
They're having a hearing coming up too.
Yeah, Mexico had hearings.
I think this next week.
And Mexico had
or
hearings.
was it last week or something like that? Yeah.
That was last year we talked about that. Yeah.
Well, Brazil is having another one. Which one had those little bodies that people
Mexico.
say were a
hoax? That was a hoax.
Mexico.
Okay, okay. Well, but they're having that. I asked that because the country that had that is having another hearing like ours in their.
Mexico
Congress.
sees a lot. Mexico City, especially, sees a lot of UFO activity. Brazil, there was an island. So again, a lot of stuff came out in this Investigation Alien with George Knapp. You watch it, you'll scratch your head like, "Oh my God, why didn't I hear about this?" And it's because mainstream media just won't pick up on it. They were picking up on it. They picked up on the jellyfish UFO because I remember seeing that all over. I just that's CGI. There's no way that's real. But something's going on. Arrow comes out and says, there's no credible evidence. Okay, you need to tell us. There's 64 pages of them saying, there's no credible evidence. I don't understand. All you had to do is just put the statement out there. But we'll see what happens. I don't think there's anything to worry about, because if this was a alien civilization, they certainly have the technology. They can come down here and make themselves overlords without even worrying about us, because what are we going to do? Shoot at them with an M16? It's these guys. I don't know what's going on, but there's stuff in our skies, and we need to know what it is. And the government needs to show some transparency and tell people, because the more that they try to hide it, the more people are going to ask questions, and that may be what they want. I don't know.
Are you aware of the Jackie Gleason story?
Yes.
Brian, have you heard about the actor comedian Jackie Gleason?
You talked about it before.
Yeah. He was friends with Richard Nixon, and Richard Nixon one night took him to and showed him embalmed alien bodies that they got from Roswell. Yep.
I've heard that story many times. But there was something that was said in this video, and it's true. I thought I might have tried to articulate this to you. If we do have retrieved alien craft or retrieved UFOs, and we're reverse engineering, there's going to be limited number of people that will see that. When you have a secret like this, somebody talks. Bob Lazaro worked at Area 51. He talked. He was so discredited. But that's what the government does. They don't kill you. They just discredit you to where you can't be believed.
Yeah, they make you sound like an idiot or a crackpot.
So that's why that would be so compartmented. It would just be a few maybe 2 or 3 handfuls of people that would even see it and know about it. But we're seeing stuff in our skies, and that's where I believe we have a right to know, and that the government has a responsibility to keep us informed of what's going on. Otherwise, we're just being sheep led to the slaughter. That's how I look at it.
Makes sense. And that would be bad.
Bad.
Yep. There you go.
It's actually proven that the only reason Richard Nixon showed Jackie Gleason those bodies is because he was constantly threatening to punch his wife to the moon, and he wanted to show him exactly what comes from there.
To the moon, Alice. To the moon, Alice.
That's right.
There ain't no way. No way. You come from my loins.
When I get home, I'm gonna slap your mama right in the mouth.
That's right.
I just watched Smoking the
Jackie
Bandit.
Gleason said that. I still watch it typically once a year. It doesn't hold up completely through necessarily, but it's still a fun movie. Yeah, it's still a fun movie. Jackie Gleason's fantastic.
Yeah, if it hadn't been for Jackie Gleason.
Enhanced by the alien forces somehow.
That's right. Hey there, if you like that video, or if you just like to watch us make fools of ourselves, please like and subscribe to this channel. We really appreciate it. We hope to see you back here.